Hello, good afternoon everyone, and welcome to this breakout session where we are going to learn how Telefónica relates to entrepreneurs and investors to bring the best innovation to our customers. Before we start, let me add that you can use the questions section in the web so that you can leave your doubts over there, and we will try to answer at the end of the panel. In this roundtable, I'm very excited because we are going to cover two hot topics that I love in technology. One of them is investment, and the other one is cybersecurity. Cybersecurity has become more relevant and more important. An example that you may remember is when the band Radiohead was hacked. Blackmailers threatened to release 18 hours of unheard music unless their requests were met. And how did Radiohead respond? Well, they released the music themselves for free. And this year, coronavirus was not the only virus that hospitals had to deal with. Hacks, ransomware attacks are everywhere. According to Checkpoint, the daily average of ransomware attacks has increased by 50% in the last 3 months. But don't worry, we have great news. In Telefónica, we have been betting on cybersecurity for years. We have this amazing company, 11 Paths, part of Telefónica Tech, and here in Wayra and in Telefónica Ventures, we are helping them to find the best startups in cybersecurity all over the world. So let me show one of the adventures that we have done together.
Nos dedicamos a proteger productos digitales que se encuentran en el medio online y nos ocupamos de que esos activos digitales no puedan ser visualizados o consumidos de manera ilegal.
La empresa se forma a partir de un proyecto para una asignatura que nos pedían solucionar un problema actual de tecnología. Ganamos un pequeño concurso y a partir de ahí decidimos montar una empresa. Tuvimos un primer contacto con el señor Antonio Bandera y nos dio un primer trabajo de protección. Ya conocimos a muchísima más gente gracias a él. Se nos abrieron las puertas de productoras como Warner, Sony o Golem Distribución.
Y al final de ese año, viendo que había muy buena atracción de la empresa, los números eran muy buenos, nos paramos un poco y pensamos que cuál debería ser el futuro de esta compañía.
Nosotros llegamos a Wayra a través del cubo Telefónica para ver si éramos una empresa que encajaba dentro de sus criterios, ¿no?, de selección. Hicimos esa visita a Madrid y en principio hubo muy buen feeling, y el 1 de enero ya estábamos en Madrid para seguir en la compañía y seguir avanzando en clientes, porque realmente cuando nosotros comenzamos en la compañía, somos ingenieros, venimos del mundo de la industria, no teníamos el conocimiento de lo que es una startup, ¿no?, y el mundo que conlleva y la profesionalización que hay en una startup al comienzo, cuando son tus inicios, pues realmente no lo conocíamos. Igual nos ayudó en eso. Y nos fue muy bien, la verdad, porque fuimos avanzando, generando más clientes, hasta que en el año siguiente, en 2017, conseguimos hacer una ronda que incorporó talento como el Javier Perea, que es el CEO actual.
Y ahí en esta ronda se sumaron JM Ventures, Bank Inter, la propia Wayra Telefónica que ya estaba, y Big Sur Ventures, donde yo estaba, y fue mi primer contacto con el proyecto. Y bueno, empezamos a poner, diríamos, los elementos esenciales para que, junto con el crecimiento, la compañía fuera capaz de ser una compañía global.
Podría decirte que el punto de inflexión de Smart Protection fue cuando encontramos un modelo de negocio pues que es replicable, ¿no? Y ves que lo único que te hace falta para seguir creciendo es incorporar a un nuevo partner, y él es el que me va a ayudar a dar ese salto, ¿no?, a ir a por esa gran masa de clientes, que es un poco lo que va a permitir a la compañía llegar a otro nivel.
Con esta ronda de Series A nos permitió crecer desde 50 personas aproximadamente que éramos a superar la centena. Nos movimos de Wayra a nuestras propias oficinas y también crecer en la tecnología, no solamente en la mejora de la parte que ya teníamos, que era de Content Protection, sino también ampliar nuestro mercado a una nueva tecnología que es Brand Protection, ¿no? Esta nueva línea de negocio atrajo a nuevos inversores locales, como el CDT, y también a inversores internacionales, como la hispano-israelí Swan Lab y la holandesa Net Capital. Y también reforzó nuestra relación estratégica con Telefónica, en particular con su área de ciberseguridad Eleven Paths, siendo la primera inversión de su nuevo fondo Telefónica Tech Ventures. Esto va a suponer el refuerzo de nuestra plataforma tecnológica, añadiendo inteligencia artificial y otras nuevas tecnologías que nos permitan llegar a miles o millones de clientes. Nosotros estamos protegiendo la innovación, minimizando el impacto negativo que las falsificaciones y la piratería hacen en él. Es nuestra forma de contribuir a un mundo mejor.
Hello again. In this session, we are going to take a look at the startup ecosystem and the journey that a startup makes from its early days. We are lucky to have with us 4 industry experts that represent different stages in this journey. We have this amazing panel with Pedro Pablo Pérez, CEO of 11 Paths, Telefónica Cybersecurity Unit. We also have here Genia Gawendo, Managing Director of Telefónica Tech Ventures. We have connected with Diederik Ingenhaus, Managing Partner of Night VC. And we also have here with me Javier Perea, CEO of Smart Protection. And I am Paloma Castellano, Director of Wayra Madrid and proud early investor in Smart Protection. And I will guide you through this journey. So let's start with you, Javier. Okay, from your side, how important was it for Smart Protection in its early days to become part of the Wayra family?
Thank you, Paloma. What a journey, huh? Since we started back in 2017. I mean, the relevance of the starting days is very important. I would say 3 things. Wayra gave us scouting, business, and also endorsement. So scouting, when Manuel and Javier came to Madrid, as Manuel said on the video, they were very smart people, super smart, very hard workers, and excellent people. But they have no idea about the startup ecosystem. So in those days, the first scouting steps were crucial. So the things you yourself, Paloma, did, and De Saborido and Paloma Rubio, helping them, right, to guiding them through this ecosystem was crucial. Also supporting them to the seed round. So it was only 750,000 euro, a small round compared with the round we just announced yesterday, Series B of 10 million, just 3 years later. So that's the key part. In that seed round, I met them, right? And then the magic started. Mm-hmm. Then the second is the business. For us, Telefónica has three phases. The sell to, Telefónica is a good customer. We protect all the series, original series from Movistar Plus, all the broadcast of sport events like UEFA League and many others. And we have also another relationship with Telefónica as a sell-through. So Telefónica as a partner. They help us to reach certain customers in certain areas, especially in Latin America, where we have several customers together. And also the sell with. Our capabilities are integrated in some of the 11 Paths security portfolio services, right? And the last, the endorsement, is not the same when you try to reach a new customer being or not being part of Telefónica. Because people doesn't know you. Well, you know what? I'm invested by Telefónica. This gives you 3 things. The first, it seems that you are supported, you are backed. The second, the quality of your services is high. Why? Because Telefónica is using those services themselves. This raises the quality of the service. And the third, you have a great offices in Gran Via, which also counts.
Also counts. Okay, so, well, getting to that business part, I would like to ask Pedro Pablo, what role did 11 Paths have when Smart Protection was on board, and how much collaboration has there been between you?
Okay, so it's, as you know, every time that we have, a startup that is coming from Ventures or, or Wayra, it's a fantastic, idea for us because it's fresh, new products, also with focus. And especially with Smart Protection, what we get is either, on the brand protection or content protection. So we have been working in both areas that they have. So first of all, working with the content protection, as Javier was explaining. So we have been working to protect Movistar, also some of the online events that we have. But additionally to that, we have been working with several customers that we have in Telefónica, in 11 Paths, on the brand side, not only protecting counterfeiting, also protecting VIP people, so all the things that we can see today on social networks, and we have been analyzing. Obviously, having a startup that is extremely focused on that is giving not only the fresh air that people with a clear commitment of ensuring that they are doing this like the best company in the world of doing that, also is that they are evaluating and also evolving the product that they have. So it's this focus is the one that we need, and when we have this in 11 Paths, that obviously we are growing double digit, and we have a huge amount of revenues that are coming from the cybersecurity. Having people that are extremely focused on one area is giving us, the best of this focus to make sure that we provide to our customers the best of breed that we can have.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very, very interesting. So, is this a collaboration two ways so that you can both learn from that? Or is it only taking from Telefónica or the other way around?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, there is a collaboration and a few lessons learned. I've been in cybersecurity my whole career. I started creating one of the first antivirus companies in the world when I was 24. I am 54. So 30 years devoted to cybersecurity. And what I've learned on those 30 years is that cybersecurity is a vast, very extensive, very large area, very complex, and it's evolving every single day. So there is no one single company in the world can cover all. No way. So you need to create an ecosystem of partners that you can trust, and you know who can help you in a particular moment. And then you have to go there and tell, you need to help me. This happened in real cases when one of the Telefónica customers had a problem, and well, there was an area where we could help. And Pedro said, hey, you know what? You call Javier. This guy can help here. And this happened. And we didn't ask, oh, is Telefónica is paying us, is giving us a PO, whatever. So if Pedro asks me to do something, I go and do it, period, right? Then, yeah, because in cybersecurity, you need to act. It's not about weeks or days or hours. It's now. It's right now. So done, boom, move on, next. So you need to find this type of partners can help you to be effective. Right, Pedro?
Yes, you are totally right. So it's when we have been working on that field, there are two things that I think we understand and we learn from each other. So the first one is that obviously Telefónica is a very good partner from the capillarity side. So it's Telefónica has a vast network of people that are in the street selling to our customer. We have obviously in Latin America and in Europe a very good fit when we try to sell security, and having the relationship of trying to go, or we are able to go to many companies with this capillarity is something that Smart Protection is learning about that, and we are able to have this capillarity. But this is mutually beneficial from both sides, because at the same time we are a very big company. We have it's like we sell a lot of things, and having a company that is agile and it's able to respond quickly and to put this this lead that we are working with Smart Protection, it's top priority for them, and then we have all the resources with Smart Protection that we can go for this customer, and just in a glimpse, in seconds, we are able to provide the maximum quality in security that we can provide, because we have capillarity and also we have agility from Smart Protection. So I think it's mutually beneficial. Also, obviously, when we are getting customers, new industries, it's also ensuring that the product from a company that has this agility, because it's a startup and is able to mature the product, obviously they learn also from each customer that we let or we put into the bucket on Smart Protection, and this is mutually beneficial because we are doing this in a very agile way.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I would like to add to that we make business, but we also get skin in the game because we are investing in startups, and that leads me to you, Genia. So please tell us a bit more about these new Telefónica Tech ventures.
So we announced a couple of weeks ago, and the session before I had the chance to talk about this new vehicle. It's Telefónica Tech Ventures powered by 11 Paths, because it's an initiative that we are doing together. The objective is to reinforce our position in the cyber VC ecosystems and to get even closer to the cyber companies that we already have in the portfolio. We start the vehicle with 9 companies that are from Wayra and others from Telefónica Ventures. And I was loving to hear the story about that Javier and Pedro were sharing here, because this is exactly what we want to do with all the startups from the portfolio. We want to create this relationship that it's very close and that create new business opportunities for 11 Paths and for the startups. We are very happy to announce that the Series B, our participations in the Series B of Smart Protection, this is the first operation of this new vehicle. And we hope that we want to continue to explore, the relationship with the existing companies, but also to invest in new companies and bring new innovation to 11 Paths.
Okay, continuing on that, are you planning to attract other LPs to invest in your fund, or is this just a Telefónica's initiative?
Well, we think it's an initiative that brings, it's very interesting to other investors as well, because we have the expertise from a ventures investment perspective with the ventures team, but we also have the expertise from 11 Paths. We can help, choose and filter the best opportunities, but also help these companies scale a lot. So yes, we might think, and consider, we think it's an interesting opportunity, and, if there is interested, we would love to explore it.
I think that, well, we have another person here that is not right here, but I would like to raise questions for you, dear Eric. You are the international investor here that gave us the international perspective. So, well, in this last investment round for Smart Protection, it was close in a record timing. So clearly, you show the potential in the startup. So please tell us what influenced your investment decision. What did you see in this amazing guy?
Yes, thank you, Paloma. So by means of a brief introduction, we're a technology investment firm, and we're based in Amsterdam. And we exclusively focus on B2B SaaS companies in the Series A and B. So not just cybersecurity, but B2B SaaS in general. But to come back to your question, we obviously like Smart Protection for many reasons, but I will name a few that built my personal conviction to invest in the company. So first of all, one of the most important things, we really like the team. So both on a personal, but also on a professional level. Javier has successfully built and sold a company in the cybersecurity space and has a long-standing track record with companies like McAfee and Intel. Also, the other executive team members have an outstanding track record in both entrepreneurial and engineering skills. So them being so diverse makes this an all-star team for us, which we really like to back. Second, of course, the company is active in a huge market, all right? So, and they really solve a pain with their product. We forecast, and the company also forecasts, that counterfeiting and digital piracy will only grow for the next years as the adoption of e-commerce and remote work is accelerating. So we feel that Smart Protection solution is very clever to solve this very pressing problem. And their software is also extremely scalable, so it's accessible to companies of all sizes, so not only the very large companies, but also SMEs, for example. And then third, in terms of the product and the company, we really like that the company has a very clear go-to-market strategy already, and they have a proven replicable sales model. So they're quite far in the funnel already. And we really like, if you ask me, that the market is pulling the product, as alternative solutions are just far less productive. So rather than really selling the product to the market, we feel and we notice that the market really needs this product. So those three things combined make it basically provided me with sufficient comfort to invest in Smart Protection.
Okay, that's perfect. And for the startups that may be hearing and listening to us, this is what an investor does. That's a perfect analysis on how we look into companies. So thank you. And as you bring the international perspective here, What do you see in Spain? Are we becoming strong in the cyber field?
Well, we're a generic B2B SaaS investor, so we don't specifically focus on cyber or Spain. But what I can see is that the Spanish ecosystem is spinning out more and more interesting companies. So you obviously have some interesting examples like Typeform, for example, or Cabify, and we really follow the ecosystem closely. Also through our friends from Swan Lab Venture Factory, for example, and Nauta Capital, we co-invested with, of course, with Telefónica in this round. So it's really great to see the ecosystem evolving like this, with also some very professional funds present, and now Telefónica realizing the ambitious plans as well. So we really feel that the ecosystem is maturing, and yeah, there's a lot of opportunity ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So, well, we have seen one successful so far cybersecurity startups, Smart Protection, and how you have evolved, in part forming relationships with Telefónica, Wayra, 11 Paths, and international VCs such as Knight. We have also seen how the recent creation of Telefónica Tech Ventures indicates that from our side, there is a clear aim to continue to invest and become a big player in cyberspace. And Genia, I'm going for you again, but I would like everyone to answer these questions. So from your experience in the cybersecurity area, do you think that we are going to see more specialized VCs, or is a broader approach a better option?
If we look at the numbers, the amount of money, VC money dedicated to cyber is growing in 2020 about 20%. I think it's expected to reach around $8 billion. It's a big market. The funds that are more active in this arena are the usual suspects, the big tech funds, no? The Axel, Kleiner Perkins, yeah, the big ones. But you see that they are more active in the later stages. In the early stages, we see a lot of very specialized funds just focused on cyber coming, just to mention a few like ForgePoint, EL Ventures, or Team8. So, and also you have the other cyber companies, the big players in the market also investing, but also more in the earlier stage. So it is a big market. I think with COVID, it's growing and booming even faster. So the big guys are interested in it, and the specialized ones. So I think there is room for everyone.
Okay. So what else do you think about this?
So I think that this, especially when you are talking about investment in cybersecurity, and precisely, on the question that we were talking before. So it's not only that we have a lot of VCs that are coming, to this type of investments, and it's growing a lot during the last years. Also, is that the ecosystem of cybersecurity companies, especially in Spain, it's growing a lot. So we have been investing in companies like Bluelip, that is doing great. We have also investments in companies like Divo, or companies like Countercraft, and it seems that the ecosystem is booming, and also there is appetite because all these companies that at the end we are investing, they are growing, and growing obviously is something that even with the pandemic, it's something that the cybersecurity is here. Even if you go to the cybersecurity results, you analyze how this ecosystem is growing. You have double-digit growth in many of the areas in cyber. So it's not only the appetite of VCs, it's also that the market is with this surface that is obviously increasing every day because we have the digitalization that is growing. It's obviously booming. So all this adoption is having that the surface is growing. So the risk, the cybersecurity risk is growing, and then additionally a lot of startups are appearing just to make sure that this risk will be managed. And additionally to that, we have that these startups, especially in Spain, there are obviously Silicon Valley or Tel Aviv, obviously ecosystems are growing a lot, and by far more than the Spanish one. But in Spain, we have a huge amount of startups, and Telefónica has been here to help with these examples like Bluelip, and this is something that we are extremely happy on doing that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, well, Javier, you have been in cybersecurity for more than 30 years.
Yep.
So how do you see these new threats on intellectual property, brand abuse, and counterfeits compared to other waves that you have seen around cybersecurity?
Cybersecurity is amazing. That's because I spent 30 years, because every year is different. So evolution and change is a constant in cybersecurity. When I started looking for viruses, we have only 5 viruses. We had the antivirus in one floppy disk. But since then, things have evolved dramatically. So this is the hyperconnectivity has changed the world, but also the cybersecurity space. So today is not about compare a string of code or the virus with the code itself, and so this is a virus. So there's a combination of sources of information you need to gather, to grab, and correlate to find actionable insights in order to close a port, to shut down a server, or to take down an infringement on the internet. So what I'm trying to say is that this is a data business. Cybersecurity is a data business. It's a artificial intelligence business. So it's about gathering a lot of information from different sources, putting this together, and reach what is going on, what is the behavior in the network. So, and then whenever something happened, you act on that, right? So now smart protection is moving to that, and this round CSV is for that, to increase our capability on artificial intelligence, right? This is the way to cover hundreds of thousands or millions of customers, and that's why the partnership with Telefónica makes sense, because Telefónica helps us to reach millions of customers, and we can provide a service that today is not out there. So who shouldn't protect their brand on the internet? A brand is an asset, very important. You have to protect it. You need to know what's going on with your brand. I mean, your brand can be a threat in a search engine, in a social network, in a marketplace. You need to know. You need to know what's going on, right? And every single day. And that's what Smart Protection is trying to do with the help of Telefónica.
Okay. Well, for those of you that have ever seen a virus in a floppy disk, please protect yourself in wear mask, because we are at risk. Sorry, I couldn't help that, but Joe. So, Pedro, Pablo, we are talking a lot about cybersecurity and the boom on remote working because of the conditions that we're in. And I believe that, well, more and more business operations and activities are taken online, and that means threats. What do you think about cybersecurity and the need for extra cybersecurity in the pandemic?
So the pandemic, it's something obviously that when you analyze this from digital ecosystem, is that it's changing. It's like it's accelerating the world. So it's if you analyze how companies that they were afraid of going to the cloud or this type of journeys, we have been accelerating, in Europe or even in the States, from 80% up to 90% of adoption in cloud in many environments. So if we name that, as Javier was saying at the previously, that data, everything is about data. So data is the oil of this new century, and data has something that is an asset that is pretty special, because it's an asset that the much we use it, the more value it has. So it's a very special asset that obviously when we have with the pandemic more exposition, because there are more connectivity, we have people at home, it's moving data, we need to protect all this data. And then it is obvious, no? It's the attack surface, it's wider, and at the same time there is more data, so the exposure is bigger, so the risk is increasing, because risk basically is an equation of having assets, having threats, and also vulnerability. So if all these areas are growing, so the risk is growing, and then we need to manage. So for this reason, cybersecurity, it's growing double digit in many areas, and this is the good thing about cybersecurity, that is an area that even if we can name a lot of problems that many companies have today, we can also name that is a good place for investment, also a good place to work, because we have the possibility, there are a lot of jobs that should be taken, And at the same time, it's an area to evolve because there is something that is just like we are just starting in the cybersecurity. It's an area with, as Javier was explaining, 30 years old. It's no more than that. So there is a lot of things that we can do, especially from the startups and people that want to have a lot of focus on that.
Okay, so well, Diederik, we are running out of time, so I'm taking questions from audience now, and I have one for you. That is that, are there any trends of changes perhaps fueled by the pandemic that you are seeing and expect to continue in 2021?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, like you already discussed, the world is becoming more and more digital, and the pandemic forced nearly every organization to digitize and adopt new technologies overnight to compete with other business or simply stay in business, right? So I expect that this shift is here to stay, and the importance of B2B technology companies will only accelerate going forward. And like we already discussed, the adoption of workplace technologies, people are working remote, so data has become increasingly important, but also, for example, due to digital commerce. So I think there's a massive role for smart protection going forward. And I think, cybersecurity will continue to be a very important topic here. Like the teams that will work more and more distributed, so and they will use the technology on a daily basis. So if I see a trend, then that is very beneficial for SaaS companies in general, and more specifically for cybersecurity. So yeah, very interesting space.
Okay, so well, we are running out of time. As we have seen, cybersecurity is an exciting field with lots of potential, but of course, it's just one of the areas in which Telefónica is investing. Through Wayra and Innovation Ventures, we are always looking for startups that have a good fit with Telefónica's business. So thank you so much, Diederik, Javier, Pedro Pablo, Genia, for participating in this panel. And thanks to you all for being here with us. And as you know, there are several breakout sessions that are taking place in parallel, but don't worry, you can enjoy also that content starting on Monday, because we are going to upload all the videos to the internet. So thank you so much, and see you soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.